5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're live with Neve.
All right. Happy Friday, everybody. Live with Neve. It is a beautiful, cloudy, gray day here in the New York area. It's kind of cold. Not as cold as it's been the past few days for those of you in Florida and other environs, California, enjoying the sun. Although both of those places today seem to have been having some rain. And I just say, it matters to me because family and friends down in Florida, my other adopted hometown. And here we are I am high in the highlands of New Jersey, and it is a grim day. I can see the city today, and it looks kind of grim over there, too. So we got all sorts of stuff to talk about. Since last week, we've had Mondani's been elected, and in crazy monkey news, remember, on Live with Neve, crazy monkey stories go to the top of the line. They're right up there with lurid sex tales and crazy things about our elected class. So we have a raging chimp escapes zoo, leaving families and kids trapped 8 months after the CEO was bit during feeding. I don't know what you think about that, people. I hate freaking monkeys. I think they're vile and nasty critters, and I'm sitting here looking at it. The zoo staff worked to quickly secure the visitors. Okay, everybody, it's cool. The monkey will not rip your child's head off and throw it through the window. Emergency responders were called to reports of an animal bite linked to an escaped chimp. The only escaped chimp I'm thinking of is the guy who's the director of that aquarium or exhibit, because, man, they're going to be in a heap of big troubles. Oh, the Indianapolis Zoo. Okay. Never been there. Don't know anything about it. In my many things I've done that are cool jobs in life, I used to be the audio director for the Florida Aquarium in Tampa, Florida. So I've had lots of experience in going up to Disney World, a lot of the other attractions that are in the AZA, the American Zoological Association. We would get passes to each other's exhibits, and so I had a lot of great fun with my friend old Mike Gallagher, my former boss at the job. We used to go to lots of places. We've wrestled alligators, played with chimps, seen the backside of Disney and their wonderful exhibit, the Animal Planet, or whatever they call it over there. At any rate, they got monkeys loose in Indianapolis. We have, let's see if there's any. Here's the guy, man from hell, husband from hell, man accused of drugging, raping, and sharing vids of wife with other perverts. All the news you see fit to print. What can I tell you, folks? We're hitting down at the bottom. John Fetterman, senator of Pennsylvania, who frequently pisses off his Democratic friends by siding with the Grand Old Party, GOP. He was rushed to the hospital after slamming his face into the ground. God, that sounds like heinous. Almost looking around for some creepy person that did it to him, but I don't know. So they were dispatched to the zoo at 10 in the morning, which is early. Zoos usually at that hour. The staff is going through, checking the exhibits. They've already done cleanup, and then after they're sent out to the exhibit world, you're supposed to take a walk through. And I was the director of the exhibits that had anything to do with audio, video, or computers. So I would take my walk in the morning, and frequently I'd bring my boss, and we'd just take a cup of coffee and go look at the sharks, go to the shark tank, and I'd go see the big parabolic chamber I had built for the, what are those things? They're like seahorses, but huge, sea dragons. We built an exhibit where I had a parabolic speaker hanging, and the kids loved it because they could go under it and go over to the right. And it looked like the cone of silence from Max Smart, if you're that old to remember it. And it was really great. I was just happy to be able to buy one and try it out. And it really did work great. You'd be standing 3 feet away from it. You'd hear nothing. You'd come stand under it. You'd hear the soundtrack. You'd hear me and my voice narrating a bit. And you'd hear the wonderful soundtrack that I put together for it. And that was up. That was our, it wasn't Frights of the Forest. It was Oz and Jaws. Now, Oz and Jaws was the first one. Then Frights of the Forest. I can't remember what this third exhibit we're talking about is, but it was very cool. And the sea dragons were awesome. They come from the Indonesian Pacific, and they're about this big. And like seahorses, they males help with the procreation as well as the child care. Any rate, I'm looking here to see what other fantastic news we have here that's worth commenting on it. I think the raging chimp escaping the zoo, attacking guests and trapping dozens. Actually, at our aquarium, I'm not sure really why. We didn't have any lions or tigers or bears, oh my, but we did have a weapons team. And my buddy was on that team, the hostile response. We did have alligators, and we could have had problems with an alligator. I had one once try and bite myself and one of my associates. She was a young lady who probably weighed 100 pounds. And we were in a very small enclosure with a white leucistic, for those of you in Rio Linda, as Rush Limbaugh would say, a leucistic animal is not an albino, however, it resembles it closely. The difference is it will have blue eyes because it does have pigment. Indeed, they only have white pigment of the eyes. I know we're getting a little science lesson here, but we were in the cage with this creature, and he was about 6, 7 feet long. He wasn't the biggest alligator, but he had a dispositional disturbance with us. There was a canoe we had built as part of the exhibit to make it look like it was somewhere in Florida. And her and I were in this container. I was messing around with the speakers, and you're usually not supposed to be in the enclosure itself with the animal when you do this. You're supposed to move it and all this other crap. But we didn't. We hooked it up, got it playing, and I had uh, one of the tapes we made, one of the original animal calls for the exhibit was of gators doing mating calls and stuff. Evidently, it agitated the leucistic animal, and we were on one side of it, and we had a waist-high door. Well, I heard the thing move, and it slammed into the canoe really hard. And as it hit the canoe, I saw it and went, "Oh shit!" Picked her up by the waist, tossed her over the door, and then dove over the door myself. He didn't do anything other than stay by the but I will tell you, as I jumped over, I could see the people looking in the window of the exhibit. They were hoping they were going to get some live animal prey predator interaction between the alligator and us. But it was a lot of fun. It was an interesting job. Had a great music program there that I had started. I'm very proud of that. I didn't start it, but I finished it by making it epic. Paramount, Comcast, Netflix, they are all prepping bids for Warner as the deadline approaches. We'll have to see. I have prepared my own bid. I'm going to give them exactly $8.14 and see what I can get with that. So people are getting really weird out there with all these political ideas. Oh, Lord have mercy. We got Candace saying that Israel is blackmailing the president. Now Megan, whatever her name is, suddenly finds pedophilia very hard to define. Hmm. I don't. It's really simple. If you're a grown up with grown up parts, you don't mess around with children because otherwise, snip, 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 it's going off, man, and you'll still have to have your prostate examined. And if you happen to be a female offender, which we don't see too often, but if you're some dizzy 23-year-old ditz bag and you're married and have a home and a master's degree, do not fuck 12-year-olds, okay? It's just not on the list of shit that's approved for scholarship these days. I mean, come on, folks. Read the tea leaves. Look at the mood of the people, the zeitgeist, the zeal. And, just, God, these people, they irritate me no end. Candace says that Israel's blackmailing the president. Billie Eilish slams pathetic pity bitch coward Musk for hoarding wealth. Well, screw you, kid. You're not giving. I'm sick of these snotty little rock stars. You got a bunch of $1 million. Be glad you got it. You're lucky. You have an accident of birth. You're living in the greatest country on earth, and you happen to have some money now. So you think everybody wants to hear your shit? Frankly, your records suck. Your voice is not that exactly great. You're no Whitney Houston, honey. And I hate to pick on people's talent, but God, man, when they get so politically involved and their talent levels like down here, just it's like McDonald's. Just because that shit sells 9 million burgers doesn't mean you want to eat it. I'm proud I have several years without that crap in my system, and it really is healthy. All right, Russia pummels Kiev as it torments the Ukrainian civilians, and Governor Pritzker warns Trump will take us to war with Venezuela to distract from Epstein. I just don't think so, people. The guy doesn't give a shit what Governor Pritzker says about anything. He's Donald Trump. He's the president. And the governor of Illinois on his radar is like down here, like way down here. He's got bigger problems than Governor Pritzker, believe me. In fact, they did so good in Chicago that they've kind of removed a bunch of the troops, and that's good. We have the world's oldest depiction of creation has been discovered. Let's see where that is. Archaeologists find a 4,300-year-old silver goblet in the West Bank showing peaceful cosmic ordering, giving rise to the universe. Well, I guess the Urban Renewal Project in the West Bank has dug something cool up. You should try it sometime, people. I'm sorry, we had urban renewal there. If you're offended by that, sorry, kind of sucks. And an army of bots marches in the first mass delivery of machines. What in the hell is this? Oh, great. This is the Chinese robot army. First delivery of, look at these fuckers. All right, people. Now, I do the hard work for you, so you don't have to. I'll just tell you what's going to happen with these things. If you have any sense in at all, you will look at this. Like, I think it's pulling out its battery pack. That's a good place to aim at the sucker. From the looks of it, you're going to need some pretty high velocity rounds to take this thing down. My suggestion would be 50 caliber from a very high velocity, lots of gunpowder. And there's a shitload of them. So really what you need is a Gatling gun. Because do you see this, people? Hold on, let me show you. Imagine this is Chinese military robots. Hold on, we'll get back to these things. They're a pain in the ass. Okay. Now, if you look at this, there's like hundreds of them hopping in shipping crates. I got to tell you, man, that's a target-rich environment. In fact, I would think that the best thing to do is rather than shooting the bastards as they get off the boat, just sink the fucking boat out in the ocean. That's why we have a Navy, man. Chinese robots invading Taiwan or something, man. Just take the boats out. These damn things. Once they land, they'll be... Trust me, they'll get into all kinds of trouble. They'll go gambling and chasing women with loose moral standards or low moral standards. And remember, people, if you're not getting what you want, lower your standards. At any rate, we have this nightmarish, as they call it. The U.S. sun is it's like the sun in Britain. They just have all these tawdry stories. How much of this is true? I don't know. This is their second generation model. Don't worry, it'll be the fourth or fifth before they actually can come over here and kill us, but they're working on it. And we have Elon's robots. So instead of, I'd say since we've got, stuff going on in the Persian Gulf, let's sell the Israelis some of these weapons and let them roll them into Gaza, man. A bunch of robots go in there and just do security duty. I don't know. Sounds like a good idea to me. Give them all a couple of arms, a couple of rocket launchers. Thing can shoot bullets out of its eyes. Now that's exciting. Terminator shit, So we're here at the 4:15 hour, and I'm going to go ahead and play some of my friends' ads. And one of them here is for me, and it's by a good friend of mine who's the best of the best.
Hi, this is Leland Sklar, and I am hanging with Neve, and I am having the best time of my life.
Live with Neve.
golden flake of snow this year. I won't be sad to see it go.
Hi, I'm Darren F. Flynn, a singer-songwriter from Ireland, and I'm on Live with Neve.
Said it couldn't happen here.
Well, that's Darren Flynn. He's from Ireland, I tell you. And we're all Irish for one day a year. So welcome to the Live with Neve show. This is called Freak Out Friday. For all of you people sitting in traffic somewhere on the George Washington Bridge, I hope you have fond memories as I do of that fantastic bridge. Best bridge, biggest bridge in New York. We love the bridge. And so we're going to go through and we're continuing on some interesting, fun news stories today that I get something I can poke fun at here. Rare Earth Crisis. Is that the band Rare Earth? I think they're still out there pounding the nail out. One or two members left. Taking a selfie with a stranger in the background could cost you $135,000 in Dubai. That strikes me out, man. My net worth's about $16. Ay. Graffiti and vandalism at famed national park. Utah? Oh, these assholes. See, this is the kind of stuff. It's why you can't have nice shit. I've been to this park. It's called Arches. And as you can see, some shit stain has decided that they're going to get up there and graffiti the fucking ancient graffiti. Basically, they're trying to be artistic. I'll give them a couple of points for that, but they deduct then a few points for stupidity and they're screwed. So look, people, it's really simple. If you go to a national park, don't spray paint fuck Trump on the wall or grug or whatever these morons do. People do the dumbest shit. One bunch of idiots went out and knocked down an arch. Why? I have no idea. I've been out there. It's hot as hell. In fact, you know how hot and sweaty you would be even trying to climb up to that thing to spray paint your stupid name? Greg couldn't even spell his own name right. And I say that because it is scrawled there, Grug. You probably can't see it. It's backwards in the camera, but it's Greg, dude. He's 16 years old and he's failing at everything in life. Doesn't spell his name right. His mom hates him. Everybody hates him. That's why he's doing damage in the national park, because it's such a beautiful place for a moron like him to go. He doesn't appreciate it. I am scanning through all of these great news stories so you won't have to. Ransomware gang leaks data on 10,000 Washington Post employees and contractors. You always got to ask, who would do that and why? Well, I would think it could be one of the other Washington papers. Could have been some of President Trump's FBI guys checking them out. But here's a great story we can all relate to. I love music, and this story it tests my patience. A staggering 97% of listeners cannot distinguish between artificial intelligence generated and human composed songs. A Deezer Ipsos study showed on Wednesday, underscoring growing concerns that AI could upend how music is created, consumed, and monetized. The findings of the study polled 9,000 participants across 8 countries, including the US, Britain, and France, highlighting rising ethical concerns in the music industry as AI tools capable of generating songs raise copyright concerns and threaten the livelihood of artists. People, I've said it for years, the record company executives would have killed us all off long ago, having to put up with Jim Morrison or Jimi Hendrix or some other person's shit. If they could have just made a record-making machine. This is it, and I've said it long ago. Essentially, making music or doing poetry or any of this crap it's not a viable career path anymore. Yes, you can take all this stuff and you can become a singer or a personality or an influencer, but now that they've figured out how to make music that people can't hear, I don't blame them, man. If I owned the company, I would, probably do the same thing. I don't know if I would, actually. I like normal people. Hey, greetings from LA. Gina, how are you, babe? Gina, give us a quick Devo update. How was the concert? I saw your pictures and heard a couple of songs, but I just listened to some Devo this afternoon, and I got to tell you, the new song they have out sounds just like them. It sounds like Whip It Sessions 9, redux. So yes, and getting back to our wonderful stories today on the news. What else have we got? So I got to get to the bottom of this. What else have we got to say here? 71% of people express surprise at their inability to distinguish between human-made and synthetic tracks. Hey, Susan, how are you? Devo was great, huh? Was the sound good? I'm curious about that. I read a few reviews said the sound was a little spotty, but I think I might go see them when they come here. They're such a weird band. For my friend in Florida, Jay Crocker, thank you for on my 18th birthday buying me the first album that Devo ever made. And I don't mean with a major label, I mean the one they made in San Francisco. It had a plastic sleeve on the outside. It had a Devo 45 of their first single, which was a wonderful little ditty called Jocko Homo. And I'm sure that I know that the big band, the Guy Lombardo Orchestra, were fabulous playing Whip It. They're just one of the best things you've ever heard in your life. Oh, it's at the Hollywood Bowl. No shit. You had great seats, man. Oh, nice. That was cool. Well, you can never tell. Imagine, you're opening up in LA. I know if it was my band and I had a sound guy, I'd be like, "You screw it up tonight, Ralph, and you're gonna be tied to the bus and dragged back to Tampa." What can I say? Sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures. So Deezer's saying that nobody's going to make any money anymore except for the established evergreen artists because they've already got the money and they got that mailbox money coming in. I don't know what most musicians are going to do. I mean, what are they going to do? Sit around? They'll be sitting around smoking weed, hanging around with lawyers, certified public accountants, all kinds of scum out there. And they'll just be doing nothing. Because even the lawyers, man, they can feed in a case and get 10 AI versions of attack plans, and it's getting more and more weird. The artwork is getting better, and the music's getting better. It was the B-52s. I can't say they're the greatest band, but they sure are fun. I saw them, though, sadly, open up for the Rolling Stones once. It was terrible. They came out, I'm trying to remember who played before them, but it was just awful. They come out, and all I can remember is people throwing shit at them as they came on stage. And having been a musician my whole life, there is nothing worse than walking into that wall of shit that you hit if somebody doesn't like you in the audience. And, it was awful. And all I remember is Fred, the member of the band, I think he's he's the singer. One of the singers was Kate. He as he's leaving, he goes, "Fuck you, Orlando." And that was the end of that. And of course, when the Rolling Stones came on, they were like, I have to say that was 1982. It was the Stones at their best. They kicked serious ass at that concert. They smoked all the opening acts. And I'm trying to think back. The first time I saw Van Halen was also with the Rolling Stones, but it was in 1978, 79, somewhere around there. But my friends said there's this band from California, and I don't know who they are, but they sound like your last name, dude. And I said, the band's called Van Erdy. He goes, well, Van something. Van, and let me tell you, they came out, they had just finished making the record with Gene, and the songs were so well rehearsed. And I got to tell you, I had never heard of them, and Eddie Van Halen was 3 feet in front of me, just started with Eruption. He tore the hell out of it, and like everybody in the country, we all went, "Holy shit, what is this guy doing?" It was so different and very cool. Yes, my family in Florida was saying. My mom today said it was pretty cold. Yeah, Florida gets it this time of year, even in the year when all the tourists go down. I don't know. I'm gonna try and go be a tourist for a couple of weeks or something this spring. I think it'll be fun. Annie and I get down and see the family a little bit. Who knows? But okay, so let's see what other good stuff we have. I know this is a weird show. We're just sitting here looking through the news. I'm trying to find just some amusing stuff to ease us into the weekend. A nice, slow, take a cleansing breath. America first. MAGA worries no longer the case. Let's see. Health chief uses psychedelics and smokes DMT. Wow. And we used to have to take drug tests just to, you know, go to school or play sports. I am going through the file here just to see. Ah, this is great. We have a bunch of Hollywood stars lining up for the Saudi Arabian Film Festival. Yeah, that sounds great. Sounds like a real party over there. Netflix football coach star dies after being shot on campus. That's a screwy story. Screwy story. Uh, and we have scientists pull ancient RNA from woolly mammoth's body. How about that? We're going to be cloning woolly mammoths before long. I've heard about this since I was like 10, and I'm well past that now, as you can see. I have my great face for radio here. Let's see what else we have. Sometimes when I run out of good news here in the wonderful United States, I like to go and see what we're talking about overseas. This can often be interesting, especially when you go to Pravda, Donald Trump's best friend, with all the Russian hoaxes and shit going on. Come on. Let's take a little look at what Pravda's got to say today. Those crazy Russians, they'll do anything. Tell you what, do not ever drink with Russians. Just don't do it. I have explored that phenomenon, and you don't want to do it no matter what. Let's see. Here we go. Sanctions and negotiations. Rubio highlights U.S. constraints on Russia. Let's see. Absence of Chinese admirals at Fujian carrier ceremony fuels talk of Xi's military purge. Probably having to put up more hardliners because of political reasons. And Zelensky faces political turmoil amid corruption scandal. Accident at Ukraine's Inul uranium mine leaves 2 workers missing. They got, vaporized. It's not good. And Serbia's president warns that Europe's preparing for a major war with Russia. Please, guys, this is stupid. Don't think about it. Bad idea. It's wintertime. I don't know if you've ever heard of anybody in historically who's done it, but Russia in the winter is RFC. For those of you who are in the military, it's real fucking cold, okay? You don't want to be there right now. You freeze your nads off. You'll be colder than a witch's tit. It's personified. So, I don't know what to tell you. Getting into a war with the Russians across all of Europe is a bad idea for everybody, and it won't end well, and it just screws everything up. There's no business being done. What in the hell, man? It's all the world exists to do. I buy from you, you buy from me. Some people don't have anything to sell, so those are the places we call shitholes, overflying over Gaza and places like that, where it's just not really a fun party. What can I tell you? Those crazy Hamas guys, they're just so fun, I mean, no music, no good-looking women dressed in bikinis. What in the Lord are they doing to America? They're hot dogs. Bring a bunch of them over here. Let them eat a couple of pork hot dogs. See what they think about how great America is. Eat the greatest pork hot dog ever made by man. I'm telling you, man, we'll get them a Hebrew National, set them down on the deck, get them a little juice because any alcohol is haram. We'll put something in there anyway. I don't know what, but we'll give them a ride of their life. By the time we get done with their drinks, they'll be freaking riding the magic camel ride across the Eurasian deserts. Okay, folks, what else have we got? Western sanctions. This is more Pravda. Turkish C-130 plane crash in Georgia. Technical failure or external intervention? Who the hell knows? Russia deploys an upgraded heavy flamethrower system with new drone defense features. Yeah, baby. If you're into making money, folks, you have got to invest in drone technology. Get out there, find you some good drone companies. There's a lot of small ones that are supplying the United States with various products. It's probably a good time to buy into that stuff. I have an endless list of interesting things that are going to be sourced. And my understanding is we need to produce about 40 to 50,000 a month to even keep up with what the Russians are making. So here's what we do. We get some of our well-heeled fellow Americans to donate to make sure we can put out 80,000 frickin' drones a month. That's the only language these assholes understand. So some people you can be nice to, but at the end of the day, you got to get out the bat. You got to just get out the bat, give them a good nod upside the back of the ribs or something that it won't kill them or anything. But you just got to motivate their mind because they're doing stupid things. What can I tell you? It works, you know. In the old days, cops, if you did something wrong, cops would beat your ass, send you home to your folks if you were a kid. If you were an adult, you'd still get a beating and you'd go away and they'd know who you looked like. Most of the times, the beating works better than today where they drop them in jail for an hour, they see all their old friends. The next thing you knew, they got a sandwich, gift pack for 25 bucks at McDonald's, and they're walking back out on the street, coming to a neighborhood near you. Yep. In my neighborhood, I just don't see it happening, but you know, depending on where your digs are. Yes, the new mayor Susan is absolute amazingly atrocious, and this is a city I love to death, man. I moved back here, and it's just killing me. We got this interloper who knows nothing, and the crap he doesn't know that he wants to do is dumb as shit. You can tell he knows nothing. The guy doesn't know anything about economics or history or science or math. He's an asshole. God. Just thinking about it, it's making me all verklempt, you know. I need a little salsa here to get myself going. I'm reviving myself. So remember, if you're an admiral in China and you're not seen, it people everywhere in the world, all the CIA spooks and things are going, wow, you know, you go to the party, you show up at the carrier, and next thing you know, you're in handcuffs, getting led off to some dungeon in West China somewhere really awful where they send all the whatever those folks are, the Uyghurs. Isn't that a great name? Yeah, man, my tribe is the Uyghurs. Do not look at our mules. Their mules will kill you for you looking at our mules. I'm telling you, man, those people in the Balkans, they're all a little freaky, you know. They got guns. Now, what about this? Why is it in every Arab country in the world, when they get excited about anything, could be a funeral, could be a birthing, it could be a marriage, they get the fucking AK-47s out and they shoot them straight up in the air. I'm sorry. God has a sense of humor, man. You know that you fire shit up in the air and it comes straight back down. Don't. Man, it's just, up there. I'm telling you, man, God's got a sense of humor. He's like, click, click, click. How many have I got to get in here tonight? Click, click. You know, and he runs around. He's looking at the different shoots into heaven and the elevators and all this stuff going on. Trump's house is in Hempstead, huh? Yeah, I think I could dig that house. That sounds about right. The new Skankatorium. Skankatorium, we'll call it. We'll just open up a place. Hopefully it'll be down the street from Howard Stern's place. I get down there and wear a Howard Stern wig and bang on his door and stuff and annoy him. He'll be calling me PD. The Hempstead Police Department will be like, oh, it's that other weird asshole next door. Yeah, I don't know what he does. He's just a freak in nature. At any rate, if I could afford the house in the Hamptons, I'd have fun because when I go golfing, everybody's got the same old shit golf carts they buy. But me, I got a new spin on the whole deal. Getting interested in golf because I've been a friend of mine. I watch a lot of golf with him, and I decided though that for my idea of a golf cart, it's like more like a rail buggy, these kind you see competing in the deserts, jumping 16 feet into the air, and a Stormy Daniels. Oh, Susan, what a hideous looking creature! God Almighty, that boat left the station a long time ago. Man, Stormy is looking like she's had better days. And you know, that can't be her real name. That just there's no way that chick's named Stormy Daniels. If she is, she's come from white trash. I'm sorry, then there's no who names their kid Stormy Daniels? I don't know. It's like the black kids in the ghetto who name their kid Elvis or Peep Diddy or whatever his name is. Speaking of that, while we're on that, where the hell has Pup Daddy gone? 6 to 8 weeks ago, you could not get away from Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy. All the stars. Oh, he made me look at bad pictures. Oh, he touched me in the dark. Oh my God. Not a bunch of sissy ass whiners. I mean to tell you guys, there's some shit you do you don't tell anybody about. If you got any sense at all, you'll say, I gotta keep to myself. That's just not gonna go. And these people are out of their minds. I'm telling you, things are weird. We got this crazy guy in office. I don't know. I've never seen things so weird. Oh, Susan, is that her? That's her stage name, her porn name. It just sounds like it. Now, there's a job for some enterprising person. They could come up with new and lurid porn names for porn stars. You know, Hot Lips Hannah, or I have to think about it. And right now, I'm not thinking very well, as you can tell from the show. It's quarter till almost. It's 20 till the hour. You know, this show, I've got some strange ideas for the new version, which you'll be seeing evidence of. And it's just going to happen. You're going to turn on the show one day, and you're going to see that we have 24-hour round the clock music. It will be automated, so I don't have to be sitting here. But you will have my completely automated AI head. Yes, this is Neil. Fuck off. And screw you too. No. And then it's, oh, yes, may I help you? Hi, welcome to Neil Van Erdy's headquarters. So, the first Russian train arrives in Iran via north-south corridor, bypassing that wonderful tourist destination, Azerbaijan, man. This is the time of year you want to go, people. It's just, they say it's nice this year. And then the end of an era, Nancy Pelosi is finally taking her sorry ass off of the stage in Congress. Think about it. January 1st, we get rid of Pelosi. We trade it for this goof of a mayor we've got. I'm going to tell you, I'm giving him 1 year before something happens that he ends up getting screwed. People, let me tell you something. Mr. Dave Look is in the house. And if you want to hear some great rock and roll, take that little link there and draw across it, copy it, paste it into your choice of browser, and you're going to hear some kick-ass rock and roll. How you doing, David? What's going on, my friend? You still married? Happily in connubial bliss? I hope so. Make a collection of Neve bobbleheads. I think I'm already a Neve bobblehead. I don't know. Yeah, that's an idea. Make it dual use, though. It has to have some other use. I'll leave it up to your imaginations. Where he is. I was at the visit when I see you live. What visit is that? You have a child on the way? Is that cool or what? You got a kid coming, Dave? Ah, man, a little Dave Look, man, a little rock star coming up too. Well, I'm glad to hear that. You know, marriage is an institution, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, time to start over again. What can I tell you? Frank Zappa put it best: broken hearts are for assholes. It's just the way it is, man. I'm glad you tuned in, dude. It's good to talk to you. Always good to see you, my friend. My friend Dave is down there. He rocks Augusta. He is part of that great celebration at the golf club every year. The Augusta, whatever they call that thing. I don't know what it is. You could type it in if you're out there and you know what it's called. The Augusta. I can't remember the name of what they call that golf tournament. Big deal though. I know it's like probably the biggest thing that happens to Augusta every year, event-wise. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dave. I would think that's a huge event for that area, part of the country. Yeah, I'm still looking at Susan's Stormy Daniels facts up here. It's making me feel icky. God, Donald, he must have been. I don't know. The guy doesn't drink. He doesn't have that excuse. I just don't know. We've all had a moment of weakness. Sometimes two or three. I don't know, maybe 200 or 300 sometimes, but I don't know. Therapist reveals the only affordable food proven to extend lifespan. Let's see. The Azerbaijani, I was poking fun at their wonderful country, and it turns out their embassy was damaged in Kiev last night. So this is all some exciting facts I can tell you. I'm trying to find anything that is good news that we can report. So before the show's ending, let me go through and see what we've got here. We got a picture of Bill Clinton and Donald Trump back in the 80s. It looks like Trump's going after his unit. See that? I don't know, man. You two guys are suspect. Here I am insinuating on the radio that there's some kind of big thing going on between the Donald and the President Clinton. The man they're going to be changing the Washington Monument, folks, from the Washington Monument to the William Jefferson Clinton Memorial Tower. That's his crowning. It looks better than Obama's frickin' his, whatever it's called, his library. Have you seen that thing? What about you? Have you seen it? It's absolutely insane. It's this thing that's like a big turd, and it's really ugly, and it's got all kinds of cracks in it because, oh God, they used all kinds of like low budget help. I'm not kidding you, folks. I wouldn't kid you. Well, I would, but I got to tell you, he hired all these. Oh God, he just hired the DEI type of contractors. So I don't know who he had doing the contract for concrete, but the whole son of a bitch is cracking in huge chunks. Get a grip, man. Thing costs $50 million or something. It is really a strange building. It's not, I don't know. For all I know, it's got ghosts, spooks in the house, could be like dangerous. We used to have on the show, if any of you old timers have been here with us from the start, if you remember our resident demonologist and ghost hunter, trying to remember what his name was. It'll come to me in a moment. It's almost like ancient history now when we had our ghost hunter on. The last phone call I got from him, it was 10 in the morning. We're supposed to go live. And what happens? He calls me and is like, "Hey, Neil, I'm not going to be able to make it. I just got arrested." And I said, "For what?" He said, "For stabbing a Mexican." I went, "Okay." And, I was just like, what in the hell is with this? And we haven't heard from him since. Bill was accused of raping a female reporter. Yeah, it was. Yeah. And a bunch of other broads, from what I've heard. Let's see. The Masters annual draw is larger than the Super Bowl meal. And that's, wow. You see that, people? I believe it. Well, hell, Dave, I'm heading down to the next Masters, man. We're going to have to go get our hats on and go watch some golf. I don't know. I don't drink anymore, so the thought of sitting around all day, alcohol makes a lot of events tolerable. Like sitting at the Yankees game in the hot sun at $200 a ticket. Forget it, man. Another cheap $20 beer will just put you under the table and, "Oh, it's a great game." They get in fights on the train home. I've seen this shit, man, after a Yankees game, buddy. You come, some out of towners are in town, they're on the train with a bunch of drunk Yankees fans. Oh my God, it's like Sodom and Gomorrah. And about that time in New York, the Urban Dance Squad arrives and starts doing tumbling, feats of magic. You can see all kinds of shit. People with fucking snakes walking around in the subway, on the train with a 5 or 6 foot boa constrictor. What do? You go home with that thing to your mother, bring the snake in, mom's like, well, he's always been a weird kid. My mom, if I'd have said I'm bringing a snake in the house, it would have been shit. Not only no, but absolutely effing not. I don't know. I know my mom too good. I tried to bring her a little 1 foot alligator once, and she had her favorite chopping block in hand, and she turned around and wailed me on the shoulder. because I had stuck a baby alligator in her face. Um, how this happened, alcohol was involved, and I had a friend who knew how to call alligators. It was ridiculous. Problem was, he called over, and the little babies came over, and we grabbed one, and it was dark out, and he had a flashlight. That's all we had for a weapon. And then we saw Mama coming over at a fast clip, and her eyes were about this big, almost as big as, my genitalia. I'm telling you. All right, pretty large. Any rate, this show is just going to hell in a handbasket. It's Friday. I'm looking forward to some great dinner, a great weekend. I've got to do a bunch of assorted medical crap next week, which is always fun. Visit the dentist. It's the end of the year. You got to get all your maladies adjusted at the doctors. Use your insurance funds. Yeah, I wonder whatever happened to that reporter. Did she ever come out or did she just say, forget it? I'm not saying a word, man. She's afraid she'd get Clintonized. Yeah, that happens. So pennies are not going to be minted. Folks, look through your penny jars. You'd be amazed at what an oddly minted penny could be worth. You might have, an extra 100 or 2,000 to take care of your kid's college fund. You never know what you've got. I know I got a shit pile of pennies. I'm going to be digging through them, looking at the little book. Yeah, might be cool. If I can sell them for 100 grand, I'll go buy a bunch of, I don't know, buy some Bitcoin or something, really go for the gold. Anyhow, we're going to call it. It's the end of the day. I hope that everybody's had a great day and that today we've taught you a little something, taught you that madness still exists in the show and on the air, and we're just here to have a little fun. And I hope your Friday is great. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to roll the end of stream. And folks, I'll see you next Friday. We will have some musical guests on and some new and some old friends. So come on back next week. We love you. Bye-bye. Stay in the studio, play outro, and